here with you, and today I'm here to share with you some happy mail, but also to do something with it. Basically, I participated in a swap over at Junk Journal Canada, and it was about bits and bobs. So you're supposed to get an envelope with stuff that you can fill a 12 by 12 paper, and this way you can actually use it in your craft. Now I'm using a scrap piece of paper, and I actually really am tired of this design. Like, I'm past tired of this design, so I figured it would be a great way of using it, and at the same time do what I'm supposed to do with this. I also brought my iPod Touch because I want to take a picture to be able to share what I received in my swap. So let me just take a picture of this just so I can share it afterwards, and then we can get going. So it's all beautifully wrapped, so pretty, and she gave me a bunch of little things. So there's a little clothespin. It broke on the way, unfortunately, but so cute. And look at that beautiful trim. Oh, love it. That's a great way of sending this. So this I won't be using for this paper, but if I make tags out of whatever I'm making here, then I can use these trims on the tags. I really love this. It's like tulle, but very pretty color. I've never seen some in that color. And then there's all sorts of little bits and bobs here. Little buttons. Oh, and these are very cute. Those must be like inchies. But what a great shape. So it's actually an 1.25 inches, but close enough to be an inchy, to me anyway, because I can't make inchies for the life of me. Okay, so there's that. There's a tag. This is very pretty as well. So let's see what is in there. So it's gonna be fun. I chose a life of adventure, strong. Oh, this is a paper napkin. So pretty. Oh wow. Maybe I can use some of it and keep the rest for something else. That's very fun. And some burlap and some paper like this. So let's just get going and fill up this thing, because that's the goal. So I think I'm going to start with this bigger piece and just there are some strips and glue it down, maybe like this, and then we'll see how that goes. Megan, baisse le son s'il te plaît. Baisse le son.
Tu j'enlève mon son?
Oui, ben tu le baisses, en tout cas je l'entends.
Ok, je veux vraiment que tu l'entends plus.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
So, like this. You can still see the design underneath, which is kind of cool, but it's not as obvious as when you look at it like this. So it's just kind of pretty, actually. So this must be wrapping paper because it says papyrus. So papyrus, I don't know if those stores are everywhere, but here they're stationery stores, really fancy cards and stuff like that, very expensive, like Hallmark but more expensive, unless you get their stuff on sale, then you can get some good deals, but other than that, it's very expensive. Yeah, it must have been wrapping paper because there's a that she recycled because there's a bit of a scotch tape on there. So that's kind of cool. Knowing that it was recycled. So this is not cold. So it's gluing down pretty good with just my glue stick, which is kind of cool. And I've got one piece left. Maybe we can put it right there. Here we go. My hands are getting gooey from the glue. Okay, so that's one part. This paper goes very well with that as well. And so maybe you can put some in miscellaneous parts here. So it's kind of making Frankenstein paper. I've used this technique on those calculator rolls, but I've never done it on a big piece of paper, which is really kind of cool because in reality, this paper, like I said, I'm really trying to use it up. I used it up in my trunk. You must have seen well, if you look at my videos often, you would have seen that I've made over an old trunk that I had purchased and that was in dire need of some love. And so I did that, but now I still have leftover paper. Because it was one of those huge 180 pages, I think, from recollection. Let's just say I don't purchase pads of papers like that anymore. It's good when you're starting to be a scrapbooker, and they had some great uniform pages, but stuff like this, I never was a huge fan of it, and so I never actually used it. So I've got this too, which is really fun. So maybe I can put some here. So yeah, you can still see underneath, but it's subdued, as you could say. Use the square edge to kind of go around on the corners, so this way I don't waste paper. Even if it's bits and bobs, I still don't want to waste. So we're not supposed to use anything else from our stash other than paints and glue and that sort of thing. So no other bits and bobs of my own. But I might do this with my own little scraps if I like the result. This way I would get rid of my scraps faster, because I really have beautiful paper, and I never use it because I've got so many scraps and I feel guilty about using the beautiful paper because then it's gonna end up making more scraps, and well, you know the feeling. Okay, so I'm not too sure about the title, so I'm gonna remove that. There's this here, and then all the edges will have been done except for this tiny little one here. Oh, there's one here too, so I can use the book there too. So like this. Like that. Like this. And then, so I obviously want to use the full page so I don't put more scraps in my scraps. If I'm left with bits and bobs, I'll use it somewhere else, but I don't want to create more scraps. I've got plenty in my stash. That, and I can use the last piece here to cover those little sections that are not covered yet. That, so that has all been covered now. As you can see, I haven't touched the napkin because I'm hoping I can use the napkin somewhere else. It's beautiful. I haven't seen a piano napkin like that, so I'm trying to keep it. I have this, which would be fun, and this as well. Use it that way. Okay, so I think I'm gonna glue it down that way and cut the side so I can use it on the other part. So cut it like this. Here we go. That. pretty much all covered. I don't want to go overboard with too much of this, so I'm going to use a bit of this. And I can put another little piece elsewhere. Don't want it too big. Here we go. Right. Finally, another one. So that's my paper, my 12 by 12. I think it's pretty cool. It's I'm looking forward to using parts of it in tags and stuff like that as backgrounds. I think it should be fun. And if I see that there's little bits that need extra glue, I can always put them down afterwards. And I'm left with all those wonderful pieces here that I can use on something else. This would be beautiful as it is on the card. So yeah, I've got lots left, and it's just, I think, a really fun way of using your scraps. So hope you've enjoyed this. If you did, please do give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to leave comments down below. Check out my giveaway, and hopefully it's still going when I'm putting this out. And yeah, that's it. Bye everyone.